See, y'all got me jumping down this Ivanna Ortiz alleged shooting, Rihanna shooting, and here it is. I'm analyzing these videos, and I just needed to take a pause for a moment and break down what's happening in this video. So, in this clip, she's reading from Hebrews chapter 2 in the Bible. Normally, people hear this and think that it's just religious readings, but what I want to do is analyze and understand basically the structure, the message in the structure of what is being said here. Okay, because this chick is allegedly a criminal. She allegedly shot up Rihanna's house. So I'm not analyzing the Bible itself. I'm just looking at how the language functions psychologically. I'm not a psychologist, nor do I claim to be any type of authority, okay? So the first major idea is in Hebrews 2nd. It's a warning, and it says people need to pay attention to the message so that they don't drift away. And in simple terms, that means that they just need to stay focused and not lose sight of the message. She talks about message a lot in all of her little Bible readings. This chapter also establishes authority. It explains that the angels delivered a message before, but now Jesus is presented as the greater authority here. So the structure becomes the message you're hearing now comes from the highest source. So you're saying basically what she's reading is the highest source, the message from the highest source. Another theme and idea is that suffering leads to glory. This passage explains that Jesus suffered and died and then was crowned with the crown of glory. And then that, if you look at that, that's a very common narrative structure: suffering first, then victory later. Okay, so she might be suffering in prison and expecting some victory later. It also describes that Jesus is a pioneer that leads others. So one person goes first and then others follow. So this makes me think, is she trying to like recruit some sort of army to follow her to go after more celebrities? Are there more celebrities on the hit list? Is this a call to action? And then finally, the chapter talks about freeing people from fear of death. So psychologically, this is powerful because especially when you're talking about death, fear of death drives a lot of human behavior. People are scared to die. You can't be scared to die, right? Okay, based on what she's saying in the Bible. So when you step back and take a look at the structure of the chapter, the message is pretty clear here. Pay attention to the message is what she's saying. Trust, or what the Bible's saying, trust the authority behind it and understand that suffering can lead to victory. And then follow the leader who went first, and don't live in fear. See, this is the type of thing that we have to pay attention to. But check out the video, see if you get the same thing that I got from it. Comment, like, and subscribe for more. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Hebrews 2. Listen to the Son's message. This is why it's necessary for us to pay more attention to what we have heard, or else we may drift away from it. If the message that was spoken by angels was reliable, and every offense an act of disobedience receives an appropriate consequence, how will we escape if we ignore such a great salvation? It was first announced through the Lord, and then it was confirmed by those who heard him. God also vouched for their message with signs, amazing things, various miracles, and gifts from the Holy Spirit, which were handed out the way he wanted. Jesus is the enthroned human being. God didn't put the world that is coming, the world we're talking about, under the angels' control. Instead, someone declared somewhere, "What is humanity that you think about them? Or what are the human beings that you care about them? For a while you made them lower than angels. You crowned the human beings with glory and honor. You put everything under their control." When he puts everything under their control, he doesn't leave anything out of control. But right now, we don't see everything under their control yet. However, we do see the one who was made lower in order than the angels for a little while. However, we do see the one who was made lower in order than the angels for a little while. It's Jesus. He's the one who is now crowned with glory and honor because of the suffering of his death. He suffered death so that he could taste death for everyone through God's grace. Qualified to be a high priest. It was appropriate for God, for whom and through whom everything exists, to use experiences of suffering to make perfect the pioneer of salvation. This salvation belongs to many sons and daughters whom he's leading to glory. This is because the one who makes people holy and the people who are being made holy all come from one source. That is why Jesus isn't ashamed to call them brothers and sisters when he says, I will publicly announce your name to my brothers and sisters. I will praise you in the middle of the assembly. He also says, I will rely on him. And also, here I am with the children whom God has given me. Therefore, since the children share in flesh and blood, he also shared the same things in the same way. He did this to destroy the one who holds the power over death, the devil, by dying. He set free those who were held in slavery their entire lives by their fear of death. Of course, he isn't trying to help angels, but rather he's helping Abraham's descendants. Therefore, he had to be made like his brothers and sisters in every way. This was so that he could become a merciful and faithful high priest in things relating to God in order to wipe away the sins of the people. He's able to help those who are being tempted, since he himself experienced suffering when he was tempted.